What's going on, guys? This is Joe Young coming at you another video today. Today I'm giving you guys this week's progress in the fishery. Before we start the video, make sure you guys check the previous video to enter in my 5K contest. You guys can get a chance to win some Dragonstones or an ADA diffuser if you're international. So if you guys haven't seen it yet or haven't, seen the previous update, make sure you check out that video. Make sure you guys comment on the video so you guys can be entered in to the contest. I'll leave a link in the description below to that video or somewhere up here so that you guys can definitely check that out. So this week I had some interesting updates to give you guys. So while I was outside doing the feeding of the green rack, which is my planet tank rack outside, I noticed that there were some fries stuck in the overflow box. I looked at them and there was like a ton of fry, like a ton of basically koi swordtail fry that got stuck into the overflow box. So I had and I netted all of them out, put them in a breeder box in the same rack system to figure out where I want to put some of the fish. I eventually decided to kind of move around some fish because a lot of the fish were ready to go out into the rack system anyways, which freed up a lot of the tank. So I ended up moving the koi swordtail fries into my waterfall tank. That's my Wabikusa tank. That tank was housing swordtail fries that were a little bit larger, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches already. And I went ahead and put those guys into the 60p so they can kind of grow out in that tank a little bit more. But as you can see here, a lot of the fry already has really nice pattern that I wasn't expecting to see from a fry. So right now I'm really stoked to see some of these fries because I haven't had live bearers in a while, and just seeing little fries and little fish just kind of gets me excited. So the goal of the project is to try to breed some koi swordtails with a lot more red instead of the orange. So a lot of it's going to be selective breeding, and what I'm going to do is probably kind of just sell off some of the other ones that are more orange and keep some of the ones that are more red, and just kind of do selective breeding until I get like a strain and a set of nice koi swordtails that I would like to keep and kind of just breed from there. So now the swordtail that was originally in the waterfall tank is now in the 60p for a grow out tank. I'm hoping that they can grow out just slightly a little bigger so they don't get trapped or fall into the overflow box. Once they get big enough, I'll probably throw those guys into that tank and probably do a nice selective breeding in probably the 60p, picking out some of the ones that are really nice pattern and kind of letting them breed and then putting them back into the rack to grow out. Now these little guys are probably going to take a couple more months to grow big enough so I can put them outside. But while they're in this tank, they actually will graze on a lot of the black-bearded algae that I've been having in this tank, and they'll probably destroy that in probably a couple days or a couple weeks. Now you guys are probably wondering what happened to the rainbow fish that was in the 60p. Well, they kind of graduated into the rack system now. As I mentioned, I was waiting on some funds for some LEDs, and so I was able to order 2 more LEDs and light up the tank and actually start putting some plants in there. So I ended up putting all the rainbows that I had in the 60p, which was only 4 millenniums, into that tank, and then I went ahead and put all the rainbow fish that was in the quarantine tanks because it was slightly over 3 weeks that they've been in quarantine and they've been going, and eating just great and just fine. So I went ahead and moved those guys also into the rack system. So right now the tank is a little bare. I'm just starting to add in some of the plants and letting some of the plants grow out, and eventually going to trim and fill in the gaps. Now as you can see, a lot of the rainbows are just super happy, super excited to see all the room that they have to swim around, and this tank is just going to be purely, a rainbow fish tank, and hopefully, they grow up really nice and color up really nice.
I see the light inside you, brighter than the skies.
So in the previous video, I promised that I was going to give you guys an update on my bubble tip anemone for this week. And right now, I can't put the bubble tip anemone into the rack system because the rack system outside is still cycling. Sadly, the tank is still going through cycle, and I'm just waiting, and I have all the time in the world, so I'm just going to be patient with that saltwater tank outside and just let it completely cycle so that nothing will go wrong with the tank. Right now, the system is actually really clear, and the plants are actually growing back from the meltdown from the last week or so. And hopefully, probably in the next couple weeks here, it'll cycle, and if it's cycled, I can put in some of the clownfish out there and also put in the bubble tip anemone out there as well. Now the bubble tip anemone is just clinging on some macroalgae right now. I don't know why it just likes the macroalgae instead of like the little frag piece that I put in the bottom. It just didn't like to cling on there. It was kind of clinging on some of the walls, but for now, just temporary, the bubble tip anemone is just sitting here because I don't want it to attach into any of the rocks that are in the tank right now because it's not going to be going into the 32-gallon long. It's going to be going outside in the rack. So for now, it's just going to sit in this breeder box and just kind of chill. But as you can see here, the colors of the bubble tip anemone is so nice. I bought a rainbow bubble tip anemone, so it has multiple colors and just different ranges of colors on the actual anemone. Now the anemone is pretty small. It's about only 2 inches or so, and I haven't seen it fully open up, but you know, for the most part it stays compact like this and it looks really nice. And what's cool is the clownfish is already hosting the anemone, so I don't think there's going to be an issue with the clownfish hosting the anemone. I think, you know, they really enjoy the anemone already, so I'm probably going to get a couple more if this one does well and add it outside. I have a lot more livestock and fish in the quarantine tanks right now. As they get a lot better and as they eat and whatnot, I'll start to kind of give you guys an update on some of the other stuff that I've gotten for a while back now. I kind of want to make sure that they are doing good before I introduce them to any of the big tanks, and then from there I'll give you guys an update on those as well. I hope you guys enjoy this week's update. I know it's a little short. I've been busy with just work and busy with just other activities that I had to go to and whatnot, so I wasn't able to give you guys a better update on some of the stuff, but hopefully you guys enjoy the update, and make sure you guys enter in the 5K sub contest. Make sure you guys check that link below. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. Until next time, guys, peace.
Hold on, just let us escape and fly away tonight. We have the world in our sight, and I know together we'll be alright.